Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya.
Narayanam Namaskritya.
Vanarottamam.
Naram Chaiva Narotam.
Saraswatim Vyasam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam.
Dhire.
Tato Jayamudire.
Nashta Prayasha Vadareshu.
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Bhagavata Sevaya.
Nityam
Nityam
Bhagavata
Bhagavaya.
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke.
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke.
Stiki.
Bhakti
Bhakti
Bhavati.
Yes, what is the shloka number?
Last
49.
49.
13.49 Prabhuji.
Then
49. 13.49.
Alakshantah Padavim Prajapatehe.
अलक्ष्यन्तः पदवीं प्रजापतेः
Etodhyamaha Pratyuparshishyate Purim.
हतोद्यामः प्रत्युपाश्रित्य ते पुरीम्
Rishin Sametan Abhivandya Sashravo.
ऋषीन् समेतानभिवन्द्य साश्रवो
Navedayam Pauravam Bhratriviplavam.
नैवेदयन् पौरवां विप्लवम्
Alakshantah Padavim Prajapatehe.
अलक्ष्यन्तः पदवीं प्रजापतेः
Etodhyamaha Pratyuparshishyate Purim.
हतोद्यामः प्रत्युपाश्रित्य ते पुरीम्
Rishin Sametan Abhivandya Sashravo.
ऋषीन् समेतानभिवन्द्य साश्रवो
Navedayan Paurava Bhratriviplavam.
नैवेदयन् पौरवाभ्रतृविप्लवम्
Alakshantah Padavim Prajapatehe.
अलक्ष्यन्तः पदवीं प्रजापतेः
Etodhyamaha Pratyuparshishyate Purim.
हतोद्यामः प्रत्युपाश्रित्य ते पुरीम्
Rishin Sametan Abhivandya Sashravo.
ऋषीन् समेतानभिवन्द्य साश्रवो
Navedayan Paurava Bhratriviplavam.
नैवेदयन् पौरवाभ्रतृविप्लवम्
Etodhyamaha Pratyuparshishyate Purim. Rishin Sametan Abhivandya Sashravo. Navedayan Paurava Bhratriviplavam. alakshantaha, not finding, padavim, any trace, Prajapatehe, of King Anga, Ata Udyamaha, having become disappointed, Pratyuprashtaha, after returning, those citizens, Purim, to the city, Rishin, the great sages, Sametan, assembled, Abhivandya, after making respectful obeisances, Saashavaha, with tears in their eyes, Nyavedayan, informed, Paurava, O Vidura, Bhratri of the king, Viplavan, the absence. When the citizens could not find any trace of the king after searching for him everywhere, they were very disappointed. And they returned to the city where all the great sages of the country assembled because of the king's absence. With the tears in their eyes, the citizens offered respectful obeisance and informed the sages in full detail that they were unable to find the king anywhere. When the citizens could not find any trace of the king after searching for him everywhere, they were very disappointed and they returned to the city where all the great sages of the country assembled because of the king's absence. With tears in their eyes, the citizens offered respectful obeisances and informed the sages in full detail that they were unable to find the king anywhere. Purport, the Bhaktan, the purport of the 4th canto, 13th chapter of Srimadbhagavatam, entitled Discussion of the Descendants of Dhruva Maharaj. Now, chapter starts, story of King Vena. Maitreya Uvacha Bhriguadayaste Munayo Lokanam Shema Darshinaha Gopte Asati Vainhinam Pashyantaha Pashu Samyatam. Maitreya Uvacha, the great sage Maitreya continued. Bhrigu Adayaha, headed by Bhrigu, they, all of them, Munayaha, the great sages, Lokanam, of the people, Shema Darshinaha, always aspire for the welfare, Goptari, the king, Asati, being absent, Vai, certainly, Nrinam, of all the citizens, Pashyantaha, having understood, Pashu Samyatam, existence of the level of the animals. The great sage Maitreya continued, O great hero Vidura, the great sages headed by Bhrigu were always thinking of the welfare of the people in general. When they saw that in the absence of King Anga, there was no one to protect the interests of the people, they understood that without a ruler, people would become independent and non-regulated. The great sage Maitreya continued, O great hero Vidura, the great sages headed by Bhrigu were always thinking of the welfare of the people in general. When they saw that in the absence of King Anga, there was no one to protect the interests of the people, they understood that without a ruler, the people would become independent and non-regulated. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Purport by Jivangi Sesi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. In this verse, the significant word is Kshema Darshinaha. which refers to those who are always looking after the welfare of the people in general. All the great sages, headed by Bhrigu, were always thinking of how to elevate all the people of the universe to the spiritual platform. Indeed, they advised the kings of every planet to rule the people with that ultimate goal of life in mind. The great sages used to advise the head of the state or the king, and he used to rule the populace in accordance with their instruction. After the disappearance of King Anga, there was no one to follow the instructions of the great sages. Consequently, all the citizens became unruly, so much so that they could be compared to animals. As described in Bhagavad Gita 4.13, human society must be divided into four orders according to quality and work. In every society, there must be an intelligent class, administrative class, productive class, and worker class. In modern democracy, these scientific divisions are turned topsy-turvy, and by oath, Shudras or workers are chosen for administrative posts. Having no knowledge of the ultimate goal of life, such persons whimsically enact laws without knowledge of life's purpose. The result is that no one is happy. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Pashat Deshatarine Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Maitreya Uvacha Bhriguvadayaste Munayo Lokanam Shema Goptari Asati Vainhinam Pashyantaha Pashu Samyatam. The great sage Maitreya and oh great hero Vidura, the great sage headed of Bhrigu, were always thinking of the welfare of the people in general. When they saw that in the absence of King Anga, there was no one to protect the interests of the people, they understood that without a ruler, the people would become independent and non-regulated. Hare Krishna. Audio is clear? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you. So we know the word welfare is the focus here. It's a great deal of advancement when we can think of welfare of another person. It's not easy. In fact, in this world, 5 लोग हैं, अब 1 किलोमीटर दूर में. In fact, in this world, very rare we can find people who think about others' welfare. Very rare. In science of modes, only in Satoguna, when somebody is in Satoguna, he thinks about others' welfare. Tamasic person cannot do that. Tamasic person cannot think about even his own welfare. Rasic person is very selfish. He thinks about his welfare at the cost of others. Rasic means basically selfish, passion. I want to achieve this, he's thinking about his own, but at least he's thinking about his welfare. Tamasic person, we don't know what he's doing. That's why we say mad or what, because neither it benefits society, it does not benefit him also. That is tamasic. A sattvic person is actually thinking about others' welfare. He is a gentleman. And in society, such people are very, very rare. Sometimes we like, say, the Prime Minister. Suppose the Prime Minister of the country says, say, 15 years I sacrificed my life for the country. Now you give me 100 crore. We will not be happy. We don't expect him to work on that platform, even though it is true. They are also tamasic. They are also rajasic. So artificially, they take the role, I am working for people's welfare, but somewhere or another, there is some self-interest and we become frustrated. So it needs the people at the leadership should try to come to the platform of Sattva. That also try. See, nobody is doing service purely. Even in ISKCON, is Pujari doing his service purely? No. Is book distributor doing his service purely? No. So even president is also will be same category. Is also everybody is doing sadhana, trying to come to that platform. Ourselves, we don't want to expect any platform. We expect the leader should have all the platform. That is foolishness. So everybody should try. These are all instructions of Srila Prabhupada. Now you see, very interesting situation here is, the sages did not just say, okay, you're all disturbed, so everybody just chant Hare Krishna. They did not give instruction like that. That is ultimate. But they know not everybody is on that platform. They know that. First thing, their heart is at pains. Sages means they have no interest, they should have no interest in the material life. Sages mean they are enjoying, relishing the scriptures. But at the same time, they cannot see people suffering. So they are thinking of devising some means so that the society can be safe. Like king used to call the sages. Now, Brahmanas and sages, their work is spiritual. But still, when the king asks an advice, what should I do? Do you think I should attack the neighboring kingdom? What should I do? They used to give real-time practical advice based on the scripture. Can you see the interesting fact? When the Brahmana used to come to somebody's house, he used to give free education. He used to give free education. He used to give free medicine. He used to be expert in Ayurveda. And he will also give good counsel, good advice. When Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami were in Vrindavan, all the people of nearby used to come to them, including bringing family disputes to them. And Sanatan Goswami said, so you should just listen, you should not, he will give instruction. They so much used to respect him, they'll just follow. Dhira adhira janapriyao. So this is a reality actually. The sages are not just, okay, you chant Hare Krishna. They're seeing the situation. There is total chaos in the society because there is no king now. And looting, plundering is going on and there is chaos. There's so much people are with pain. They are thinking, we need a king. Correct? Well, no, I'm just chanting Hare Krishna. No. They are thinking about it. You see, Srila Prabhupada writes a letter to the Gandhi. He writes a letter even to Vallabhai Patel. He writes a letter even to Nehru. He writes a letter. Somebody can locate for me the letter to Nehru. Yeah, Italy. Just Italy helpful so that put the link in the chat so I can click. So Prabhupada why Prabhupada is interested? In Bhagavatam, Prabhupada says, when he's writing Bhagavatam, he's saying that Now, in the first canto, China has declared war on India. Then Prabhupada says, as such, we are not interested in this political affairs, but we see why this is happening. Centuries, both are ancient civilizations, both had very good relationship for ages. But this is Kali Yuga. People are unnecessarily fighting among themselves. See how nicely Prabhupada comments on this. Thank you, Supriti Mataji. Now, Srila Prabhupada is seeing the situation. India has become independent. Okay. Letter to Jawaharlal Nehru, 1958, 4th August. Please accept my respectful namaskar. See, Prabhupada doesn't have to bother about this. He knows he can do his work all alone. But if these people can participate with him, it will be easier. Therefore, Prabhupada wrote even a letter to the President of India. Can you help me? So a Brahmana can do his work very nicely if Kshatriyas are doing their job. If there is no peace in society, can we teach Krishna consciousness? No. So all the 4 sections have to work together. Now, if the temple hall was not clean, can we sit down? Do we like to sit down? How nice it is today feeling? Temple is clean. When it took Prabhupada around, everything was shining. Yesterday, people came, so many people came. We will come after it is completed. Temple should be spick and span. Correct? So, everything is nice. So, all the 4 sections are important. In the body, all the 4. So, sages, the Brahmanas, how they can do their work if the society is in disorder and there is pain and so much confusion? Do you think the sages can preach Krishna consciousness when there is no law and order? There is so much anxiety in society. Who can listen? When Kshatriyas do their job of giving protection to society, then Brahmanas can do the work. When Vaishyas can arrange their employment, then Brahmanas can do their work. So all the sections are important. Okay. Now Prabhupada is now writing a letter to Jawaharlal Nehru. I think sometime we read letter of Srila Prabhupada to the President. We read letter of Srila Prabhupada to Gandhi. Today let us see this letter. This is after he has taken up the seat as Prime Minister, supposed to be the longest serving Prime Minister. So 1958, this is quite a time he has already spent and wasted time. Please accept my respectful namaskar. Prabhupada saw his speech and is writing to him. There is no need for him to do that. Just chant Hare Krishna. No, please, he's writing. Perhaps if something falls into the ear. I beg to inform that your speech on 2/8/58 at the Gurukul University, Haridwar, has given some inspiration to inform you something about Indian culture. The basic principle of Indian culture is spiritualism, which defies the external attraction of phenomenal materialism. You are thinking of adjusting Western ways of material adjustment with Indian culture of spiritualism. I beg to give you herewith the clue that materialism conducted to the aim of reaching spiritual perfection is the right adjustment of human activity. So you want to combine the 2 cultures, and I want to offer my advice on that. Good, you had some point. If the aim of spiritual realization is missed, the whole plan of materialism is sure to be frustrated, and that is the law of nature. So in your combination, you look to be forgetting the aim is spiritual. The law of nature is so made by a superior authority that nobody can surpass the intricacies of material nature simply by partial adjustment of material science. The history of the West, beginning from the time of Greeks and Romans down to the modern age atomic war, is a continuous change of sense gratification materialism, and the result is that Westerners are never in peace with the memory of 3,000 years of historical records. Actually, if you see, Europe is a small place. How much wars has happened there is like crazy. We don't know history, so we think it is peaceful. It was terrible. Sometimes Germany attacking France, sometimes France attacking Germany, sometimes England attacking. These are just 3 countries. Sometimes Poland, sometimes Greek. Tamasha. Neither it will be possible for them at any time in future to live in peace till the message of spiritualism, just suitable present age, does not reach their heart. Now, therefore, Prabhupada is concluding. Therefore, Hare Krishna, India may not waste her time in imitating the Western way of life. You admitted that. It is that position of India's culture is of very high order. But at the same time, you want to bring in material prosperity of India by scientific advancement and knowledge. And what is that scientific knowledge? Spiritualism is also advanced scientific knowledge. Material advancement of scientific knowledge cannot give the desired material prosperity to the people in general without spiritual help. Swaraj of Mahatma Gandhi was adjusted in spiritualism more than the materialism. Do you think that the horseless carriage or telephonic or radio communication or any other ephemeral facilities of life can bring in material prosperity? No, it cannot. Material prosperity means the people must have sufficient to eat or to maintain the body and the soul together in sound health for further development of spiritual consciousness, which is conspicuous by its absence in the sense gratification life of the animal. Do you think that different plants have brought, that your different plants have brought in that standard of material prosperity, or that the Western civilization can bring that ideal prosperity? Even they give all the facility the material need, yet the unrest will continue to go on till there is spiritual satisfaction of life. That is the secret of peace. My humble advice, I am just concluding, as I am your friend from Allahabad. In fact, when Srila Prabhupada had a pharmacy in Allahabad, he used to visit there. So therefore Prabhupada is saying, I am your old friend from Allahabad, is that you should now take leave from your present responsibility of Prime Ministership. And as you are a popular gentleman of the world, you can just engage the rest of your most valuable life in this organized spiritual advancement to achieve the aim of your life, which is yet to be known by the world. By pushing on this authorized spiritual movement, you can make real adjustment of the Western material science combined with the Indian way of spiritual realization. Please, therefore, think over this proposal very seriously and let me know your reaction upon it and oblige. If you can spare a little time, I am sure to convince you about its importance more quickly. Thanking you in anticipation and awaiting your reply, and this reply never came. You see, previous paragraph. Here is the program of spiritual movement, an appeal enclosed herewith. I am struggling alone very hard to give it an effective shape without any help from persons like you. You can help the movement a lot without the least difficulty or disturbance. Poverty means poverty of knowledge. Prime Minister Chanakya Pandit used to live in a thatched house or a cottage, but he was the dictator of India in days of Emperor Chandragupta. Mahatma Gandhi, a political guru, voluntarily accepted the ways of the so-called poor Indians. Still, he was the dictator of India's destiny. But was he actually poverty-stricken on account of his plain living and primitive charka? He was always proud of his spiritual knowledge. Therefore, it is the spiritual knowledge that makes a man really rich, not the radio set or the motor car. Please, therefore, try to understand this position in Indian culture and try to give it to the Western brothers in prescribed standard or method of the liberated person, and that will be exchange of Indian culture with Western material advancement and necessarily bring in happy life for the peaceful world. I was thinking of Supriti Mataji. Oh, sorry, I did not share to you this. Sorry, I went to the link and I was reading myself. Hare Krishna, where is our reader? Yeah. Can you read this letter? Sorry.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Read from beginning, yeah.
Letter to Jawaharlal Nehru, Bombay, 4th August 1958. Pandit Shri Jawaharlal Nehru, Prime Minister of India, New Delhi 2. My dear Panditji, please accept my respectful namaskar. I beg to inform you that your speech on 2nd August 58 at the Gurukul University Haridwar has given me some inspiration to inform you something about Indian culture. The basic principle of Indian culture is spiritualism, which defies the external attraction of phenomenal materialism. You are thinking of adjusting Western ways of material adjustment with Indian culture of spiritualism, and I beg to give you herewith the clue that materialism conducted with an aim of reaching spiritual perfection is the right adjustment of human activity. If the aim of spiritual realization is missed, the whole plan of materialism is sure to be frustrated, and that is a law of nature. The law of nature is so made by a superior authority, and nobody can surpass the intricacies of material nature simply by partial adjustment of material science. The history of the West, beginning from the time of Greeks and Romans down to the modern age of atomic war, is a continuous chain of sense gratificatory materialism, and the result is that the Westerners never in peace within the memory of 3,000 years of historical records. Neither it will be possible for them at any point in future to live in peace till the message of spiritualism just suitable to the present age does not reach their heart. Therefore, India may not waste her time in imitating the Western way of life. You have admitted it that the position of India's culture is of very high order. But at the same time, you want to bring in material prosperity of India by scientific advancement of knowledge. And what is that scientific knowledge? Spiritualism is also advanced scientific knowledge. Material advancement of scientific knowledge cannot give even the desired material prosperity to the people in general without spiritual help. Swaraj of Mahatma Gandhi was adjusted in spiritualism more than materialism. Do you think that the horseless carriage or telephonic or radio communication or any other such ephemeral facilities of life can bring in material prosperity? No, it cannot. Material prosperity means that the people must have sufficient to eat or to maintain the body and soul together in sound health for further development in spiritual consciousness, which is conspicuous by its absence in the sense gratificatory life of the animal. Do you think that your different plants have brought in the standard of material prosperity, or that modern Western civilization can bring in that ideal prosperity? Even they are given all the facilities of material need, yet the unrest will continue to go on till there is spiritual satisfaction of life. That is the secret of peace. Both the Americans and Russians are better materially advanced, and although they have different political philosophy of life, still they are not materially happy and peaceful because both of them are unconsciously hankering after spiritual realization as the child cries for the mother without expression by language. You can help the people of the world by satisfying their spiritual hankering as a true Indian messenger of peace. The world has recognized your sincere effort by endeavoring peace in the world, and this is a suitable time to help your friends and at the same time glorify the standard of Indian spiritual advancement of knowledge for world peace. Please take up the matter in cool brain. Poverty means poverty of knowledge. Prime Minister Chanakya Pandita used to live in a thatched house or cottage, but he was the dictator of India in the days of Emperor Chandragupta. Mahatma Gandhi, your political guru, voluntarily accepted the ways of the so-called poor Indians, and still he was the dictator of India's destiny. But was he actually poverty-stricken on account of his plain living with the primitive charka? He was always proud of his spiritual knowledge. Therefore, it is the spiritual knowledge which makes a person really rich and not the radio set or the motor car. Please, therefore, try to understand this position of Indian culture and try to give it to the Western brothers in the prescribed standard method of the liberated persons, and that will be an exchange of Indian culture with Western material advancement and necessarily begin happy life in the peaceful world. Here is a program of spiritual movement and appeal enclosed herewith. I am struggling alone, very hard to give it an effective shape without any help from the persons like you. You can help the movement a lot without least difficulty or disturbances. My humble advice to you, as I am your old friend from Allahabad, is that you should now take you leave from you present responsibility of prime ministership, and as you are the popular gentleman of the world, you can just engage the rest of your most valuable life in this organized spiritual world to achieve the aim of your life, which is yet to be known by the world. By pushing on this authorized spiritual movement, you can make a real adjustment of the Western material science combined with Indian way of spiritual realization. Please, therefore, think over this proposal very seriously and let me know your reaction upon it and oblige. If you can spare a little time, I am sure to convince you about its importance more quickly. Thanking you in anticipation, awaiting your early reply. Yours sincerely, ACP. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
So don't you think Srila Prabhupada does not have to do that? Why is he doing? Because just as here we are seeing Anga, the sages, when Anga has disappeared from the world, there is a vacuum. There is no proper leader. There is chaos. There is confusion. Correct? So at that moment, what is happening? The sages are thinking what to do. And they're thinking what to do. Why not put somebody as the king immediately? Otherwise, when there is no king, the looting, it happens everywhere. Where the government is weak, we see the Naxalites are active. We see some of the cities in India, underworld is active. When the government is strong, they all run away. The government is weak, then they become very active. So same way, they are thinking of the welfare. So welfare is a very big topic actually. As Prabhupada is talking about material welfare, is saying richness does not mean material gadgets. Richness means what? We should have sufficient food to eat, place to take rest. That is richness, simple life. But real richness is spiritual knowledge. See, we want to advance. If we are not advancing spiritually, then material advancements start hankering our heart. And there is no satisfaction. That's what Prabhupada is pointing out to this. And there is also a lot of comments on welfare. I think in the mood today, we will take it up tomorrow. But overall essence is that just because we are spiritualists, we should not see the reality of the world. We should not cease to see. We should see the reality. Okay, these wars are happening. Why these wars happen? We understand. Prabhupada is saying both Americans and Russians are working materially, but they are not happy. Just like a child cannot be happy unless it takes shelter. Correct? So similarly, he is seeing in the perspective, he is seeing the reality. And for preaching, it is extremely important to see the reality of this world. Okay, we have the message, but we also see the reality of the world. And Srila Prabhupada has a very huge order of his Guru to launch a spiritual movement in the world. It is not like what we did, make a small temple in a city. That is not the order of his Guru. He is to take the message and spread the message all around the world. It's a very big order. Therefore, he is looking for some help from leaders like Gandhi, leaders like Nehru, and as it will be, nobody helped him. He had to single-handedly develop his movement in the West. Hare Krishna, thank you. Thank you so much. Anybody wants to have any question, comment? So before we go to that, so we can also see that the sadhus were able to contribute in various angles to the society. Okay? And the Prabhupada says the meetings were of only the sadhus. Like in first canto Bhagavatam, when the sages are meeting and asking 6 questions to Suta Goswami. So at that time, this is discussed. Yes, it is discussed at that time. Prabhupada discusses that questions, the meetings are only of the sages. Meetings of the Shudras, like today, political rallies and all. They only break windows, they cause upadrav, they burn cars. That's what they do at the end of the day. And pass some nonsense resolutions which are not of benefit of the world. Hare Krishna, thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna
Thank you.
Prabhuji. Pranam Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Hare Krishna
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Father Pranam. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Standard
Dhanva
pranam.
Pranam.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Prabhuji,
Vancha
thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so
kalpatarubhascha kripa
Yes,
sindhave
thank you.
evacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की
जय
जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की
जय
जय
श्री श्री राधा गोविंद की
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी दंडवत
Prabhuji, the
Oh, you are
temple door is
lucky.
opening.
दर्शन is opening.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी दंडवत
हरे
प्रणाम
कृष्ण
प्रभु
प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी हरे कृष्ण दर्शन दर्शन दो
हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्ण
Such a big door.
बुलंद दरवाजा
Yeah, see how much energy has to go. Shri Shri Radha
Jai Shri
Govinda
Radha Govinda
ki.
ki
जय
Jai.
Now you see from here only.
Give thoda
It's
close
not
to
working.
Prabhu
Not
ji,
working.
please.
Okay, I'll take the laptop. Some problem with the camera.
हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण
So, who is still to come to Mangalore?
I am coming, Prabhuji. We are coming for Radha Ashtami.
Oh, very good. Now you can see better.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, now we can see.
Yes,
Yes.
Prabhuji.
Yes.
Not clear, Prabhu.
Yeah, but that's all I can do now. Camera is not working. Okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
ओके प्रभु जी थैंक
Thank
यू
you,
प्रभु जी
Prabhu.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी
Thank you, Prabhu ji. Thank you
हरे
so
कृष्णा
much.
प्रभु जी थैंक यू
Hare
प्रभु जी
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare